Ralph Vasquez is still a problem. Minh Tran's been taken out, and you're still here. Why are you still... As I have explained before, life has gotten in the way of a few things, and you may notice a few changes. Yes, changes. Now, unfortunately, this is not going to be a reaction. This is just, I've actually had time to think about some of these things. So it's not going to be as spontaneous as it was once. Okay, here we see credit crash, and we also see rumor mill. As I stated before in my previous spoilers of other packs, the 23 seconds pack, and then when I was talking about escalation, I talked about what each pack was aiming to do. The first pack was just to, set the tone, shake things up a bit. Second pack, in this case Blood Money, is more about splashing. There's going to be lots of one influence cards. That's what I said, and there are indeed a lot of one influence cards. The third pack, Escalation, is going to have some stupidly powerful cards that are going to allow some really freak combinations. If you think Rumor Mill and think Sandberg, no, they're just the beginning. They're just the beginning, my friends. And then I said, based upon what we see for the what is spoiled for the fourth pack, we can tell whether Damon is going to go in one of two directions. He's either going to continue this trend of creating really big, powerful cards, and there's going to be a really big, massive FU in pack 6, or where he's going to print the answers to some of these things, like how we can see Sandberg and then we see Rumor Mill, for example. As far as I'm aware, his goal is to, from what I can see, make give the slight edge to the corpse. That's the way I feel it should be at the moment. However, again, these are all pure speculation. But what is clear is that Wayland and Criminal should be the dominant factions of each particular side. Either way, let's discuss Market Crash here. It's supposed to be a mini imp. That's the way I see it. A splashable imp. You want to be able to force the corporation to discard cards from R&D or HQ. Then you can use Credit Crash. You still have to slot the imp, which gives you a lot more flexibility, but again, the free cost of influence there can be a bit of an issue. It's not designed to actually be used in Anarch. It's designed to be able to pinch out problem cards if you've only got like one influence left. Rumor Mill, as I explained before, is a counter to the big powerful uniques, in this case Sandberg, Ash and Caprice. I'm sure there are others, but that's the main utility of it. Getting rid of Sandberg, Ash and Caprice, which is good because, again, the more ways you've got of getting rid of these cards, besides having to use political operative or councilman, the more options you got, the better. So there you go. Next we've got Near and Paperclip. So Anarch gets 2 more barrier breakers, with Near obviously being very good with Null because, again, it starts out at very low strength. You can also pair it with anything that increases strength or data sucker counters or injection attack, anything just to give it the initial thing to get strength up at least one. Very interesting. By the end of it, you're going to have a really seriously strong barrier breaker. Very interesting. Yeah, so imagine breaking Coat and Wall for 3 credits. That'd be quite nice. And you've also got the Paperclip if worst comes to worst. Now, I've heard talk about this being used in Exile. As an Exile player, I can't justify free influence for this. Okay, sure, I can bring it back whenever I want and set it to Aesop's. Doing that for... I suppose I could put in the Shahazara, the 2-cost program with 2 recurring credits for installing programs. I suppose I could put that in, and then I could have a kind of draw engine. So yeah, I'd run into a barrier, I'd draw a card, gain a credit for installing it on the Shahazara, the Samsara and the Shahazara, because they're both just similar names. Well, anyway, it'd be a nightmare, and the benefit of drawing a card and gaining 3 credits each turn, I get that well enough with cash. I get even more so with cash, so it's not really worth it for that. We've seen Karn. She's fine, I guess. Works well with paperclip, and works well with her golden breaker. The only way to know if she's any good is to play her. I still think there needs to be more support cards for her as she is now. There's still better criminal options, and you could just take her breaker. But again, that will... Yeah, her breaker does seem to pair well with her, but again, you'd need kind of more than that, because if you're trying to do a paintbrush thing of returning them to hand, I've tried to do it at Vankusa. It's very slow to set up, and when it gets set up, it's great because you can peel away all the ice, but it takes ages to set up. What I'm more interested in is Miss Cheang here. This seems to me to be an almost auto-include for any shaper at the moment, because either way, it's always giving you something, be it money, cards, or clicks, and it's just good. It's just good to have. It's just good stuff. I mean, I might put it as a one-off. I mean, because it's a good card, but I don't think it's good enough where I need to see it. But it's just still good to have. Now, this card here. Now for the data breach, again, it's a 1 influence card just to make multiple runs. There's lots of other multiple runs. I mean, criminal has early bird, and that would give you more flexibility, even though it forces you to do it as the first click. Could Anarch use something for multiple runs? Technically, because you're going to need run to get the counter for your R&D access or whatever. So when the ice is down, you could probably use this to save you a few clicks. But would you want to splash the influence with the most wanted list making the Anarch influence so tight? I don't think so. But again, it's at 1 influence, and that's what it's there for. If you need an option to give you more runs, you have an option to give you more runs outside of criminal. And yeah, and you've got in shaper version. Anarch shouldn't have that efficiency. But yeah, there you go. If you want it, you got it. Oh, but apparent well of comment. Might even try that. Now we've got the Allegro trading here, and again, that's just the same thing as the Wayland Confidential Informant Fund. But if you need to get your money down, I think this is a better version, even though you can't do it at instant speed. Yeah, it's just to replace Katie Mills, I suppose. But really, I think it's supposed to be if you need to keep your credits low. Although I find that you're caught in a kind of trap. If your credits are too high, there are some nasty effects that are going to happen this cycle, which are going to get you. If your credits are too low, you're going to get hit by the court cards which are about to follow. So you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But again, at a 1 influence splash, that's what it's there for. It's there for everyone to use. Although I'd probably give it a go, because it does tick up much more reliably than the tech writer. So, and it does kind of save the click from Elizabeth Mills after the 2 turns, even though you're not getting the 3 credits per click. It's still another option. This breaker here is the criminal sentry breaker version of the Ankusa. I've been experimenting with Ankusa heavily using it as my Biobreaker paired with paintbrush. I found it's very effective late game. If the corporation isn't won, you just peel away all the ice off R&D. You just keep attacking with the medium R&D interfaces. It's nasty. You put down ice just to slow you down. You break it, bounce it, and then you're earning credits again after you've done 1 or 2 runs. You get yourself some money, like give yourself like 10 credits, and then yeah, you just do it again. And eventually you will tend to win the money more because you've got more things that get money faster than they can keep you out. Unless you're up against MBN, although with the stunt to fast advance, yeah, these slower decks can now work. Damaging Contract is awesome. It's excellent for criminal. You get so much money, especially if you pair it with the anything that gives you non-run, like Early Bird, or the Sunny card that lets you run if you've got 2 link. So you could literally give yourself X number of credits per turn. So yeah, you could just give yourself so 4 credits, 5 from a Desperado. You can give yourself 5 credits per turn, clickless, if you have the right setup of 2 cards. It's a 2-card combo there. Out of the Ashes also helps, but again, that would be a shaper card. I think installing that Jack card from Sunny and this and a Desperado, and you're getting yourself 5 credits per turn and a counter possibly. Yeah, and 2 cards with Patreon. That would just be insane. Yeah, it's just an excellent criminal card. I don't need to tell people how good this is. You know how good it is. Now, this card has me worried here. Special Report. Okay, shuffle any number. It's just, this is 2 influence, which I think you get away with 1 influence for this, really. I think it's just another Jackson replacement. And with the idea being that you won't get one big power card like Jackson Howard. You get lots of smaller cards that give you the same effect. I imagine, let me see, CI could use this. So because you got money equal to your hand, you got all those cards. You got all those cards in CI. You got a massive hand. Oh, you haven't got the combo. Then you play Special Report, shuffling as many cards as you don't need for the combo. Take out all the cards, and then you just draw all the cards, as much cards as you need. Oh, now I've got the combo. Do the combo. And one thing I'm wondering, is that Reina Roja? Because I don't imagine them killing Reina Roja. Although I'm surprised, although soon eventually they have to kill off Chaos Fury. Yeah, they're going to kill off Andromeda. I don't think that's Andromeda either. That does look like Reina Roja, but I think they killed her off a bit too early there. Well, I suppose she could end up in like a Wayland prison facility, I imagine. Yeah. Oh, okay. I think these 2 cards tell a story. I think that informant there must have ratted out Reina Roja. Bastard. Okay, and you've always got those 2 security guards from Private Security Force. And they need to have names. And I love those. I love these people. They need to have names. They need to have a story. There needs to be a story. They need to like a car. I imagine like a television series with these 2 guys on. Either way, you've got CI Fund or Confidential Informant Fund. A 1 influence splash for Wayland, out of Wayland. Again, this is not going to be used in Wayland. It's going to be used in another faction. Again, if you want to keep your money low. Now, the thing about this card is I wouldn't write this card off just yet, even though it's not amazing. It's only getting you in 2 credits. And the thing about that is you can pay 2 credits to take the money off straight away. So if the runner does go for it, you can make them waste a click. You put it behind, well, I suppose you want to put it behind dice because that's too much to set it up, but it keeps your money from getting too high if you don't need to get too high. If you want to activate the Sandberg, you can take the money off it, raise the strength for the Sandberg. It's fine, if you get count siphon, you don't lose all your money, I suppose. And if they want to use a political operative to bring this back down, go ahead. I mean, it'd be annoying, but if it protects a Caprice or it protects an Ash, fair enough. Liquidation is going to go in a crazy combo because, again, you're going to be like, oh, I just need 9 more credits. Liquidate. Oh, I don't need that, don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. And that piece of ice is dead. Yeah, so yeah, I wish it wasn't a double, but again, if it wasn't a double, then people would just be liquidating everything. The Wayland ID, you've got to play it to find out if that's any good. I mean, it's good, but is it good enough? Only one way to find out. I suppose you can build a fast Wayland deck. The card that I'm really excited about is Presec. because it's just okay. It's a 6 cost snare effectively, so people access it, but at 3 to trash, it's just amazing. At 3 to trash, okay, yeah, sure, Wizard can get rid of 1 for free, but if you've got 2 or 3 in there, you're still going to take 3 meat damage and 3 tags. That's an excellent snare. Yeah, Wizards, and if you know that you're going up against Wizard, you can at least plan for it. Maybe have something that increases trash cost out of IG, which is horrible, I know. But I'm also getting enough assets here for a reason to include things that increase trash costs, like that 0 cost to trash HB card. Not Strongbox, although that is very interesting right now. Well, either I can't remember. It raises the trash cost of things by 1. You can include 3 of them. And then maybe the Oaktown grid as well, because you put all these on Oaktown, and every time that run that server, you can pay money to give them a meat damage and a tag. It's just amazing. And we're just going to skip the saddest card in the world. I've cried enough at this already. Just from the art, it just made me cry. Let me just confirm something here. Yeah, the runner chooses a resource. Okay. So if the runner has too much money, you can force them to trash the resource. If you make them trash 3 resources, that's going to make them pretty sad in most cases. So let's just imagine they've got their wild side. They've got the chronotype. They've probably got like a counts or something like that. And maybe 1 more. So they've already got about 4 resources. Making them trash 3 of those, if you've got 3 of them, is pretty good. Although if the runner's at 0, yeah, no, if the runner's at 0, they can't do nothing. Yeah. Well, if the runner's at 0, you can just play one of the hatchet jobs. You can seize or scorch them. You can do anything you want to them, really, if they're below that amount of money. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Either way, most of these cards here, they should see play. If they don't see play, just try them. Try them, you'll be surprised. Especially with Shaper being so strong now and they have lots of resources. Just give them a try. Fairchild 2 is just excellent. I mean, if you haven't got a Yogg, you're paying 3 credits to get through this. And you might, on some occasions, you might even pay 1 for strength. I mean, 4 for 4, that's great. And if you're running on this naked, 2 clicks and paying 2 credits, off. Nice, Fairchild's great. And you know, if you get this +1 strength on that, you have to use a token. Yeah, great. You use a data sucker token, just great. And with the latest Jinteki ID coming out in escalation, this would be great. Because, okay, they show you draw 2 cards, but you lose those 2 cards, and then you take 2 off R&D. But at 1 cost, again, making them pay 3, great. See, great. Just kind of wish Fairchild 2, it makes me wish Fairchild 2 was cheaper now, but there we go. Enforcing loyalty. Okay, because it's got the 1 trash cost, I don't feel so bad about this now. Because I was saying that's way too powerful for Jinteki cards, it's way too efficient. But yes, the team seems to have realized that put a 1 trash cost on it, that's fair. I mean, that makes it fair to me. That's like, yes, we've got this powerful effect that we normally don't have, but you can get rid of it. So yeah, fair dues. The hatchet job, which is a double 5 trace to put a what kind of resource, non-virtual card back into the runner's grip. I think that's great. Don't like the breaker, boom, it's gone. Don't like the other card, boom, it's gone. As long as it's not virtual, which is fair. I mean, I like all these people getting spot removal. I can't wait to see HB spot removal in the next pack with Helium Beta Test. I actually used Helium Alpha Test for a while. It was quite good when it worked. Yeah, I mean, that's just so good. I'm going to be slotting that in my custom Baltics. I'll find a way, because that's just so good. Sometimes you just got those bloody problem cards. Get rid of it. Well, that's it for now. So as you can see, this pack has a lot of promising cards. Even some of the weaker cards that you think are weak, like well, yeah, Credit Crash is not going to be used. Most of these are auto includes. I mean, I don't see the R&D run being used, but there's still a lot of potential in here. Still a lot of liquidation should get used. Pre-sec and fan outs or claps are going to be used. Just use these cards, and when the next pack gets released, hopefully I'll be able to tell you whether Damien is going to be going for the just power up everything, this stupidly powerful, or if he's going to do the power and then answer like Sandberg and Rummill. Either way, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very pleased with this cycle. There's nice surprises in